Hello everyone, how are you? How are you feeling? Today we have another selection of stories. Jimmy is with you as always. Well, we're starting. First story today from the user Disastrous Day. Let's listen. My fiancé, 29 male, and I, 26 female, got engaged last October after 6 years together and plan to marry this October. We both have a very complicated families, so we thought a lot about our wedding and decided that we just want peace and don't want to worry about all the family drama. So we plan to get married in Italy with only our best man and maid of honor. It's only a 4 hours drive to a small city we once discovered on a road trip. We invited my maid of honor, his best man, to the wedding, call him Mike, 29 male, and told them that they could bring their significant other also. The trip would be fully paid, and Mike is my fiancé best friend since kindergarten. Mike's girlfriend, let's call her Courtney, female 28, and him are together for 3 years. We were very welcoming towards her, and I befriended her also. We did a lot of things together, helped them move and build their home. Mike and Courtney are getting a dog, hopefully in September. So Mike told us he needed a different hotel, because the one we choose is not dog-friendly, and at the time of our wedding, October, they would probably have the dog. We apologized and looked for another hotel. Then he texted that Courtney thinks the dog wouldn't make the long drive, which we understood. We said that there are probably a lot of friends and family who could take the dog, but Courtney doesn't want that. Mike told us that Courtney would probably stay home with the dog and he would travel alone. Here comes the drama. The following day, Mike wrote us, he will not come to our wedding because Courtney doesn't want to be alone with the dog for the weekend, and she also would like to attend the wedding. Courtney wrote to me that we could change our wedding month or the place, maybe just a wedding in our hometown, so that they could come. I said no. If we married in our hometown, the families would want to attend, and all the drama between parents and siblings would stress us out. My fiancé asked Mike again if he couldn't come alone, and he finally told us that Courtney threatened to end the relationship if he doesn't stay with her and the dog. My fiancé was absolutely sad and disappointed and told Mike his feelings. He's normally not over-emotional, but that was hard for him. Courtney wrote me the following day as if nothing has happened, and I told her that I'm absolutely disappointed in her and can't understand her behavior and how she puts this dog, who is in absolutely no danger or need to have 2 people dog-sitting him, over our wedding, and kind of accepted her to apologize for all the stress she put us through. She called me an insensitive and offensive person, a bridezilla who wants her wedding above everything, and said she couldn't accept my behavior even if I apologized. I just can't comprehend why I should apologize. I feel like I can express to friends if I'm disappointed, and I absolutely didn't wrote anything offensive. Author update this story. We discussed sending this thread to Mike, but decided ultimately against it as he first wanted to talk to Mike himself before revealing that I posted the whole thing on the internet. They met in secret yesterday. Courtney was at work, and Mike broke down crying. It's been super stressful for him. He had asked his family, especially his mom, to dog sit, but Courtney declined. His mother was furious that he would miss my fiancé's wedding. She loves him, but Courtney told her that she had changed her mind and decided to let Mike go, but that I then wrote her an offensive and mean message, so they decided against it. Mike lost it at that and told his family that she had never allowed him and that my message wasn't mean at all. He really told her that he wants to go and she should just live with that. She cried a lot, and he felt bad. My fiancé told him that he asked another friend of them, who has a little child, to come, and he said yes. His wife even asked us if we wanted her and the baby to come. She would understand if that's too much. But we were happy to also invite them. Mike cried after hearing this and realized that he will not attend our wedding now because of Courtney. Today, Mike wrote my husband that Courtney told him that she was overreacting because she had the feeling he wouldn't value the dog, and that it's a good practice thing for a baby. She doesn't want to apologize to us, but would accept if he goes to the wedding. I think Mike's family made very clear that they think she's crazy for this, and she wants to be viewed as a good person. My fiancé said that he won't change that back, and that Mike sadly will miss the wedding because we can't be sure that there is no more drama with Courtney. I know that this is hard for my fiancé, but he hopes that Mike realizes now what Courtney will cost him now and the future. Thanks for all the good wishes, and I'm happy to be married in Italy this October, without Courtney. What I think about this story. This was sad to read, but the bet outcome for OP. Unfortunately, Mike has decided to stay in a very toxic relationship with a very toxic person, and because of that, he is missing out on a hugely fantastic event. Someone else paying for him to go to Italy and attend a big party to celebrate his friend. Hell, they even tried to get a different hotel for him so he could bring the freaking dog. But it was never about the dog or the hotel. It was always about his toxic girlfriend wanting to isolate him from his friend, and Mike has decided to stay with her. And that's sad. Hopefully this will be a wake-up call for Mike, but big doubts he will actually break up with her. Sadly, once he has kids with her, he will be well and truly trash. Let's check the users' comments. I'm so glad there was an update. I have thought about OOP's situation since I read it. It leaves quite the impression. I had a feeling that Courtney was either letting the old mask slip and trying to isolate Mike, or she was testing his loyalty in an unhinged way, which apparently is an insane trend on TikTok. I did not predict this was intended to test his dedication to a child, which wouldn't be happening for at least 2 years, provided they want to be married prior to conceiving. Seeing as they aren't even engaged yet, if they're still together by then, and are able to get pregnant easily, at all, which is even more egregious than the reality of doing all of this for a dog they won't own for 8 months, and there's no guarantee it'll even happen. What is wrong with people? Sadly, this is not the first post I've read recently where someone planned a very elaborate test for whatever random quality their partner possesses. When someone is in an abusive relationship, you do need to let them decide for themselves to leave. With friends in this situation, I have brought it up to ask them if they've thought of leaving, but never pushed it, or outright told them to break up. In an abusive relationship, they are already being pushed to do what the abuser wants, and their autonomy and ability to make choices themselves is already being attacked. So if you push them to break up, you can end up being just another voice telling them what to do, you know? And it can also make them double down if you're pushing them to do something they don't feel ready for. You've got to be a bit strategic. Honestly, a risk factor for being a Mike is just dating, unfortunately. Abusers can come across totally normal and change very slowly, so it creeps up on you. And they can be very skilled at manipulation too. It's like cults. Nobody is immune in the right circumstances, and it can be dangerous to think you'd never be that situation. A lot of people can talk you around to how they want you to think like they're car salesmen and have you doubting your reality, because they're so damn sure of themselves. Lie like rugs, barrage you with words and hit your emotions. Like the way Courtney was in tears in this story, they'll do that, and the emotion will seem so achingly sincere. In terms of risk factors, I know being previously abused, having been raised with abuse raises the risk, maybe also self-hatred, poor self-esteem, and I imagine people who are scared of being alone would be more vulnerable as well, but I don't know statistics on that. Second story from the user, Pizza, let's listen. My 39 male sister-in-law, 31 female, had her bachelorette party on Saturday. I volunteered to babysit her daughter, Tammy, fake name, 9 female, and my wife's cousin's kids, 9 male and 7 female, at my place, while my wife, 37 female, her sister and their cousin went to the party. Also present were my own kids, 11 male, 7 female, and 2 female. For dinner, we decided to have pizza. I made the order through an app. Now, I still don't really get what happened, but the order was taking forever and I was unable to contact the delivery guy. The pizza place wasn't helping either. After waiting for 90 minutes, I decided to cancel the order and pick a different restaurant. The reason I'd waited so long to cancel was because this was both my daughter's and Tammy's favorite pizza place. I managed to get my daughter to support the new restaurant by telling her they put ketchup on the pizza. Don't kill me. But Tammy was insistent in the first one. She had a crying fit while we were placing the new order. Even after she calmed down, she was still grumpy and short with the rest of us. At first, me and the kids made efforts to cheer her up, but then she started telling us to shut up or leave her alone whenever we tried. Throughout the wait, I reminded Tammy and the other kids that if they didn't behave, they wouldn't eat the pizza. She still complained about the new restaurant multiple times. When the pizza finally arrived, Tammy opened the box and said, "I'm not eating that trash." She said that in front of the younger 3. At that, I put leftover chicken pasta in the microwave and told her that was her dinner. She started crying, saying she wanted the pizza and would behave herself, but I held my ground. Tammy didn't eat any of the pizza, but all the others did. My SIL is calling me unfair and cruel for forcing Tammy to have leftovers while the other kids ate pizza. She's also accusing me of favoring my wife's cousin's kids and my own, and insisting that there were better punishments that didn't involve excluding Tammy. My wife's completely on my side. Her cousin is on the fence. Eita? Author update this story. Hey Reddit, it's been almost 2 weeks since I posted, and I can now say that the situation has been resolved. First of all, I want to state that I always knew this was a parenting problem. We love my wife's sister, but she's not a great person. She's loud, abrasive, and occasionally selfish. SIL also has the mouth of a sailor. She shares that last trait with both my wife and their mother, but unlike them, she can't control herself in inappropriate settings. She doesn't swear around young children and has taught Tammy that swearing is bad, but doesn't punish or berate her for doing so. SIL is part of the Kids Plus Swearing Tonners comedy squad, so she usually just laughs. While I'm also an honorary member of that squad, there's a time and a place for that, which is why I was appalled at those who said Tammy's actions were normal behavior for a 9-year-old. It's not. That part I already knew was rude. My question was whether I was right to deny her pizza over it. And after reading your comments, I've concluded I did the right thing. Some of you advised me to refuse to babysit Tammy from now on. I decided I wanted to give SIL and Tammy an opportunity to apologize first. My wife called her sister and told her that neither me or her would agree to babysit Tammy again without an apology. SIL didn't think they had anything to apologize for. They had a long discussion over the phone. It stopped when SIL called their mother, who took my and my wife's side. Mill agreed that we had every right to refuse to host someone who didn't respect us in our home. That's when Sil finally apologized to us. Tammy doing the same soon after. We have no interest in blowing things out of proportion, so both apologies have been accepted. SIL's wedding is later this month, and we're all attending. I don't want people to think my niece and SIL are bad people. They can be difficult at times, but we love them both. So both me and my wife have agreed to continue babysitting Tammy on occasion. But if history repeats itself, I won't hesitate to nip this in the bud. The main piece of advice I'm following from your comments is to, while babysitting, treat everyone the same and hold everyone to the same standards as my own kids. It's what I did with the pizza fiasco, and I'll continue to do it in the future. On a lighter note, we live in Latin America, and the overwhelming surprise at some details I shared in my post, including military time and ketchup on pizza, yes, I know it's awful, but it's popular with some kids around here, was definitely interesting. What I think about this story: NTA. A 9-year-old is old enough to deal with uncomfortable situations and stressors in a better fashion. Complaining may be normal, but saying, "I'm not eating that trash," is out of line and beyond acceptable behavior. The cussing alone is bad enough to institute a fair consequence. But if you have been complaining, now you're cussing in front of the other kids and the adult, and you're saying you won't eat it? Lesson learned. She still got dinner. It just wasn't her preferred dinner. This will hopefully be a valuable lesson to help a 9-year-old with apparently somewhat limited self-control or boundaries to know that when she is around you, she can't act this way. Her mom clearly enables her, based on mom's response. Let's check user comment. Tammy is 9 and old enough to understand consequences. Being a general pill and then refusing the pizza and calling it shit left you no choice but to serve her something else. If you had the patience, you could have played it out with her. Until she apologized and agreed, the pizza was fine. But it's really not required, especially when she is ruining an otherwise good time. NTA. Thanks to everyone who watched to the end. I am very grateful for your support. See you today in the second video. Bye-bye.